What's good, everyone? It's your boy Salos, back again with another Monster Hunter Wilds video. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Winter Solstice, Merry Christmas Eve. I already said Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, and all the above, all that lovey-dovey stuff. And I just wanted to take the time to just kind of talk to you guys because last year the channel was kind of all over the place, honestly. And that's really a big part of because last year I wanted to make a really big focus on my career. So when I turned 30, I kind of felt like that people say that your life really your life starts to have focus when you're 30, because when you're in your 20s, then it's kind of like the years where you get to be a real adult. You don't have anyone to tell you what to do. You're kind of your own boss. You just make your own decisions, and we don't know how to be adults yet. So with 10 years of mistakes or us just kind of fumbling around our 20s, I hear that when you're in your 30s, that's when you really start to take direction and focus of your life. So last year, I wanted to kind of focus on that. I wanted to focus on my career. I wanted to make decisions that were going to give me direction for the next 10 years of my life. And I've definitely learned a lot from that. And I kind of want to start this off because what's really driving this video is I'll probably put I will put the link right here in the description. It should be an iCard on screen. But as you guys know, I've been pretty heavy into Zenless. I mean, I feel like Season 2 was a little hit or miss, kind of, sort of. I feel like a lot of people feel the same way, that Season 2 was just didn't hit the same way as Season 1. But I recently came across a very good cover of one of my favorite characters in that game, Astraeal. I love her VA Molly. She is such a chaotic mess, and I've never seen a voice actor and a character that they play share a single brain cell. So shout out to Molly. I love that girl. I love watching her streams, and I love her simple-minded outlook on life. It's kind of innocent and charming in a way. So I play a lot of Astraeal because honestly, I play a lot of gacha games, and supports are one of the things that never really go out of style. So she's on pretty much all of my teams. And one thing that she does is when she pops her ult, that she sings a little song.
Let our souls resonate.
Fancy testing my aim? Who's the pathetic one now?
Give him a full salvo, C Senior. C Senior.
And that song is in Chinese, so I don't really know what it's saying. But when I really this cover, kind of just localized it a little bit. So let me see if I can go to the actual, if I can pull up the lyrics. These are just rough translations. Well, these are like they're not one-to-one translations, but I feel like the way that this cover did their translations is that they didn't take a one-for-one translation. They took what it meant in Chinese and they relayed the message back in everyday English. So if I go to this, then let me see. Yeah, this is what plays during her ult. No more kindness cast aside, no more noise to cloud my mind. This life's unscripted, unrehearsed, but every choice I make it first. I won't hide mistakes or bend. The real voice stands in front of you, friend. The voice inside me still speaks. It longs for change, believes. The self I've come to know will someday be received. And I was like, I didn't expect that that little old song when I'm playing my silly gacha game to hit so hard. So I feel like one of the reasons why a lot of videos have taken so long is that I kind of get stuck in trying to perfect my videos, because I take a lot of pride in what I do. I want to make content, and I want to put out videos that I come back to and I'm like, yeah, I did that. But one of the directions I'm trying to take my career, personally, if I could just be a little real with you guys, is that in a world that's slowly becoming more AI focused and the lines between what's real and what's fake are very hard to see, I'm starting to value authenticity. Yeah, authenticity a lot more these days. So that's kind of what that's kind of what this video, well, not video, that's kind of what this song, that this little silly old song that proceeds to shred every boss in the game is saying, that there's a lot of things out here that you can't tell, that there are a lot of people that put on these masks, or there are a lot of people out here that they're kind of pretending that everything's okay, and they're pretending to put on this front that they want you to see. But what she's saying is, no, you're gonna see me, you're gonna see my flaws, you're gonna see my perfections, you're going to see every part of me. That because I know myself and I know who I am, and while the world may not be ready to see who I am, I'm ready to show the world what I am. And I will be right here in your face. I will show you everything about myself, and one day you will understand who I am. You'll receive me just the way I am, flaws and all. So that's what kind of really made me just go to pull this video. So I apologize, this video is kind of all over the place. There's typically when I do these discussion videos, I have some sort of script in front of me or some type of list or bullet point list to kind of keep my mind focused. I do kind of have that to a sense, but a lot of this is kind of just unrehearsed and kind of just going off the cuff, which is exactly why this is like my 5th time trying to record this, because I'm just kind of rambling. But hopefully you guys will see my line of thought and I'll still get my point across. And I just wanted to make this video because I want to let you guys know right here, right now, that while I am very proud of the progress, I made a lot of progress last year. I made a lot of great steps in my career. I've met a lot of great people along the way. And there are a lot of people in my corner that didn't have last year. I feel like last year when I was trying to figure this out, I didn't really have too many people that... I had a lot of people that wanted to help, but I didn't have a lot of people that knew how to help me. And now I'm in a place where I'm struggling to make sure that I'm talking to everyone who wants to help me and have the resources to help me. That I went from no one to so many people that I don't know what to do with. So I'm definitely in a place where I would say that I can not, I don't want to say I want to ease up, but I want to say that I really have shifted priorities to putting my career first and my professional advancement first, to self-fulfillment first. And one of the things that I know that is always self-fulfilling to me is making content for you guys. And I went into Monster Hunter Wilds to... I said that... I've been saying this because if you guys have been around for a while, which a lot of you guys are, you guys started with me with the Monster Hunter World series, which I believe started in 2022 or so, which was about 3 years ago. Oh god, 3 years ago. We're not going to talk about that. But my point is that you guys pretty much adopted me. You guys showed me the ropes to that game. You guys let me know, here's what you do, here's a great thing to do, here's a good armor to use, here's how you use the charge blade. You guys taught me how to charge a file, how to charge my sword, the difference between when to use SAED playstyle, when to use Savage X playstyle. You guys really helped me a lot make it through that game. So I wanted to be the person in Monster Hunter Wilds to give back to you all. I want to be the person to be like, all right, brand new game. There's going to be a lot of newcomers out here. We're all going to be experiencing this together. And I want to be the person to say, okay, there's the new Ardian system that's out. So here's how you make your Ardian weapons. Here's how you make a build that's not following the meta, but a build that's good for you. Here's how you use the charge blade. I want to be that person to make those type of videos for you all. And obviously that didn't happen. I mean, that might still happen. I still get the periodic questions on when's the charge blade guide coming or something like that. But honestly, I'm going to get back to you guys in a way that you didn't really expect. Because one thing that I learned last year a lot is that there are a lot of people out here who just genuinely need help. And that because there are so many people out here who have the mindset of, all right, all I have to do is get to this place in life and I'll be good. Everything's just going to fall into place, that I'm going to be great. Everything's going to be hunky-dory and I'm just going to be set for life. And then they get to where they said that they wanted to be, and then they're just like, all right, well, that's not working out. So maybe if I get here instead, if I get to this point in life, then everything will work out. And then they're still not happy. So that's really why I'm prioritizing YouTube first, is because I want to make this a consistent part of my life. And I want to make it a consistent thing that I just find joy in, and just am able to continually make things that I feel like are going to add value to people's lives. Because I've always been the type of person, ever since I was little, people were just dead set that I was going to be like a counselor or something when I grew up. Because whenever I was little, whenever it was like, Sarah threw dirt in my eyes, or Melissa pushed me down the stairs, I was always the person that was like, okay, let's listen, what actually happened here? What did you do? How did we get to this point? And I've always been the person to kind of shoulder the burden, or just been the shoulder to cry on, so to speak. And I've always been like the one that people come to their problems, and to just kind of talk them through it, make them feel better about it, and then just send them on their way. So people always said that I was going to be like a counselor when I grew up. But what started as Melissa threw dirt in my eyes quickly turned into, my life's not going well, I got evicted from my house, my girlfriend dumped me, and I'm ready to jump off a bridge. And that was a shift that I was not prepared for. I was like, if this is what a real counselor does, I don't think I want to live that way. So I'm saying all this because I think that I grew up in an environment where I don't want to say that self-care wasn't important, because it definitely was. Looking back in retrospect, I had people in my life who always made sure that I was okay, that I didn't let life get too heavy, and that they always stepped in to kind of keep me pushing on the way. But I feel like I grew up in an environment where success came first and everything else just kind of came afterwards. So I never intentionally put myself first, and I never made sure that I was always taking care of myself. So I've always had a very thick skin. I've always been the type of person that I don't let things get to me. I don't let words get at me, or I don't let people bring me down. But if you're not constantly aware of the situations you're putting yourself into, or if you're not constantly aware of like the things that people do to try to bring you down, it may not happen in a day. It may not happen even in a year. Shoot, it may not even happen in the span of 10 years. But eventually, that thick skin will get chipped at, and eventually it will start to affect you. And because I was just in an environment where that just wasn't a thing that I'd always put first, that I just kind of let it really get to me. And I feel like last year was the first time where a lot of people didn't see me as the strong person they're used to. I feel like I've always, I know myself. I know that I've been down. I can remember the exact last time that I've been that down. It was in 10th grade when I said I can remember exactly when, but I remember the feeling exactly. I just can't remember the exact situation, because I wasn't dumped, because there was never a relationship, but there was pretty much I had a really close friend that I was very emotionally attracted to, and that she was my everything, and then she just basically said she wanted nothing to do with me, and that tore me up. And I don't really think I coped with that. Looking back at it, I don't think I really coped with that very well, because I played Evanescence Made of Stone, and the one line I focused on is, I'll numb the pain till I'm made of stone. And looking back, that is probably the worst thing you could have done. So, yeah, I don't think I dealt with that situation very well. But that, like, legit, that was like back in 2010. So 16 years ago, Jesus, is that really 16 years ago? Yeah, 16 years ago was the last time I was that down, and I don't think I've never felt that way since, and I don't think anyone has ever perceived me to be that person ever since. But last year, it was a pretty heavy year because it was a heavy year for me and my friends. So when my friends were going through things, I wasn't able to be there for them because I was going through a lot of things as well. So it all goes back to the original song that I started with the Astraeal song, is that this isn't like to be a pity party. This isn't that I want you guys to feel bad for me. I just want to be in a world that's like, especially because this is like my career, to be like completely transparent. I'm in software engineering and with a focus in AI learning. And in a world where things are becoming very more artificial and the lines between real and fake are being blurred, I think being authenticity is becoming more important than ever. That I want people, like I said, like kind of like in the song that I led with, is that I'm gonna let people see the real me. I'm gonna let people see my flaws. I'm gonna let people see me when I'm up. I'm gonna let people see when I'm down. That there are people that don't know. There are people that I know that don't know I play games. There are people I know that don't know I'm a software engineer. There are people that don't know that I'm a leader. There are a lot of different parts of me that people have no idea is existing. And I'm going to let everyone, it doesn't matter where I know you from, how I know you, you're going to see me for all of me. You're going to see me for all I am, and some people may not be ready to see all of that. But I'm going to be right here. I'm going to show you everything that I'm going through, everything that is me. And I'm just going to like I said, kind of what the song is, I'm just going to be here, and one day it will be accepted. So that's kind of like I'm going to do this kind of off the cuff. This is very unscripted, but I just wanted to kind of go with the flow with this. So it also goes back into the theme that I started with a little earlier, that I want to also give back to you all. And I don't know you guys personally. I don't know you guys' situation. You guys could be exactly where you want to be in life. Everything could be going well. You could be making 6-figure jobs. You have a wife and kids. Life is good, and you're just set, and you're just kind of here for the vibes. And there could be some people out there that are like in a really dark place, and they play video games as an escape from their depressing lives, and they pretend like everything's okay, but behind the scenes, everything is not okay. And in my time on focusing on my career, I saw a lot of that. And even within my own friends, I saw a lot of that. I had some very close friends that I think that they really wanted to just quit altogether. And I just don't want to withhold my experiences, because I feel like if I'm just allowed to show what I learned last year, that it could help someone out there. For the beginning of the year, I'm going for the first half of the year, I should say. I'm going to be starting a series that's basically going to have an overlying motif of just making sure that we're all taking care of ourselves. One thing that I learned last year is that because I was always seen as the strong one, or I was always seen as the person that people came to for advice and always had the answers and knew what to do, that when they saw me down, that they got very scared for me. I know that I'm the type of person, and because of my relationship with God, because I'm also a very religious person, that I know that my strength through God and my own personal beliefs and core values, that I might be down, but I will always get back up. And when I do get back up, I will be a stronger person than before, and I'll be able to become a stronger person because of it. I know myself, and I was never worried for my own well-being, but just seeing how people reacted to seeing me down is what made me feel like I should really talk more about this, because I think that there are a lot of people in my situation because a lot of my friends are the strong ones in their friend groups as well. They're the ones that people come to. People, they just give that energy off that I can tell you anything. So this is also these next 6 videos that I make over the next 6 months are going to be with my friends in mind. But I know just by how many people I've talked to and how many conversations I've had over the past 6 months are going to help someone out there. It might be one of my viewers, it might be one of my subscribers, it might be someone that reaches someone when YouTube does YouTube algorithm things. I don't know, but I want to make sure that I feel like that this is going to help someone out there. And this is going to be my way of going back to Monster Hunter Wilds. And it's not in the form of how to make a build or how to use a charge blade, but I feel like this is going to go a lot further than any video game guide could ever go for. So I do have these next 6 videos planned out. So I'm going to go through them very briefly. Well, I say briefly, but I'm pretty sure this video is going to be pretty long because these upgrade videos are always long. But hope you guys stick with me, and hopefully by now you caught the drift that this is a video that you listen to, not so much watch. So I'm going to go through these one by one and kind of explain what they're going to be. So in January, I'm going to be posting a video, Zenless Zone Zero video, kind of fitting being that's what I started with. But this was a video I was working on in the background because there was a competition going on where if you won, you could get some cash bonuses, but because I was so focused on my career at the time, I just didn't have the time to finish the video. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that up, but it's going to be an AMV video type thing. But there's a faction within Zenless Zone Zero called Mockingbird. And there's a character called Hugo in that faction who's basically like the leader. And he was a type of person who grew up in a very toxic household. He grew up in a place where no one valued him. Everyone saw him as a child of evil, and that he was destined to just be nothing but despair and hatred towards everyone. And he hated himself because of that, and that he was too weak to speak up, and he was too scared to do anything. But there's a moment within the story where he finally forgives himself and accepts the darker part of him, because that's always going to be a part of who he is. And when he finally accepts himself, that he becomes a stronger person because of it. And that's kind of what this AMV is going to be talking about. And it's going to use the soundtrack of This Is What It Sounds Like from Huntrix intro. Don't worry, we'll get to K-pop Demon Hunters. But the video is basically almost done. That's why it's first on the list, because there's only like literally one little section I have to edit. And I think it's going to be a great video. I'm very excited to post it. I'm very happy to share it with you guys. And I think it's gonna really put into perspective, once you see how that video plays out, how the next 5 videos are going to go throughout the year. The next video that I'm going to be posting is the one that kind of spiraled this whole thing into motion. Because if you guys have been living under a rock, there's been a little movie that Sony/Netflix have put out called K-pop Demon Hunters. And this movie has been racking up awards like Thanos racked up Infinity Stones. This movie has taken the world by storm. It has broken adults in half, and it has definitely, I feel like, had the most impact and showed the power that music has, that I think that any soundtrack has ever done in my lifetime, at least. And it's been so amazing to see how this movie has healed so many people, how it's given so many people a different outlook on life. And I think that there is something very interesting to be said there. I know how it's personally helped me with my own development, especially going through things I was going through last year. And I just want to take the time to really give this movie a chance to people who think that it's just kind of popping off just because it has a catchy beat or whatnot. I think that most people, the people who really like Huntrix, if you ask any of them, they can all tell you like why they love the movie so much and why they love the music so much. But I really want to take the time to just put into words and put out there why so many people loved this movie. So that's gonna not September. That's gonna be the February video, and that video is basically mostly done. I just need to go ahead and just do what I'm doing right now. Just get out there and just record the lines, and also figure out how I'm gonna get around that Sony copyright because, yeah, I don't know how the video side is gonna work of that, but definitely I feel like what I want to say is already, for the most part, done. I just need to figure out how I'm gonna put this in the video without getting my channel banned. But that's a problem for a different day. Anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. In March, this is a video that I wanted to make for a very long time. It's a video on the TV show Fiona and Cake, which is a spin-off of the cult classic Adventure Time, which is what we grew up with. And there is one episode that always really stuck with me, and this was like the first video that kind of warped my mind into thinking like this. And it's an important one because there is, if you guys don't know anything about Adventure Time, there's a character in the show called the Ice King. And the Ice King is the bad version of a human named Simon, who has found this magical artifact, who has warped him into this crazy king or whatnot. But there's a timeline in Fiona and Cake where the Ice King became the Winter King, where he harnessed the power of the crown of the ancient artifact, and he made something wonderful, and he put himself out there as if he was this perfect person, but there was so much more going on behind the scenes. And I feel like that's just such a perfect reflection on how so many people see things these days. But that was really when I was watching that episode, that was the first time that really made me think like this. And this was back in, like, I want to say, actually, I'm gonna look this up. When did this come out? It came out in 2023. So a couple of years ago, not too long ago. But yeah, that was the first video that really got my mind thinking like this. And being that it's a video that's I've been kind of chipping out in the background for a while now, but I'm doing this whole series anyway. I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's knock it out. Let's do this. I've wanted to make this video for a long time now. Bada bing, bada boom. Fits in perfectly with what I'm doing here. And I'm just going to say this right now. In April, I'm just going to say this as bluntly as I can. If you're a person who's sensitive, if you've dealt with or you know people who have committed suicide, if you know people who are currently going through depression and you don't know how to help them, if you know people within domestic violent relationships or people who are in abusive relationships, this video is probably not for you. If this is going to be a sensitive topic for you, if it's going to trigger something within you, or it's going to invoke a reaction that is not positive, I'm going to tell you right now, as clearly as I can, skip April. Do not watch that video, because viewer discretion is advised. It's going to be a mature video. Because throughout the whole thing, I wanted to put these very serious topics out here, and I wanted to present it in a way that's going to be fun. It's going to be a way that's going to be entertaining, but you're going to walk away knowing exactly what I just said. The message is going to be very clear, and you're going to be kind of left reflecting on it for a little bit. But this is a video that Persona 3, it doesn't shy away from its themes and messages. It tells you very straight up. It is very brutal with the message and very brutal with the delivery, but it also leaves you with an empowering and a very meaningful message you're going to walk away from that can literally change you. And Persona 3, this is a video, you guys have seen me play this for a while now. That is a game that is in my top 3 favorite video games of all time, which doesn't happen very often. Very rarely am I staring at an end credit scene for a video game and I'm just left speechless as to what I just watched. But that was Persona 3 for me. I was just I don't think I have ever played a video game that has changed the way I see life, and even so much to change the way that I move. Like the way I was moving after I played Persona 3, I think that was a video that I played at the perfect moment of my life, because there were so many things that the characters were going through and so many uncertainties that I had about myself and where I wanted to take my life, that even when I turned to God and my religion, even I didn't have too much clarity. But after I played that game, there was so much that happened within me. There was so much that was put into perspective. It seemed like people that were always on my side, all of a sudden just everything just made sense. What they were saying just clicked. And there has never been a game that I have played that made me move so differently, that people that know me for their entire lives have been like, Salos, I don't know what you did. I don't know what changed with you. I don't know what you've been doing for yourself, but they're like, you are glowing in a way that I have never seen you glow before, and I like this new side of you. So I don't think a game has ever done that, nor do I think a video game will ever do that again. So this is a game that is always going to be very special to me. It's going to be, I feel like that if you give it a chance and you're able to grin and bear the more serious topics that are going to be in that video, I think this is going to be a very special video. I know this is going to be a very special video because it puts so much into perspective for me. It changed my outlook on life, how I treat my friends, my family, and all my relationships, and it really made me cherish just everything that I have. So that's a video I'm really looking forward to. I'm very excited to make that video. I'm very excited to post it because I think that that's going to be a video that's going to be really good if you can sift through the more hard parts to listen to. But April is not going to be a video for everyone, but if you can sit through it, that's going to be probably one of the best videos I ever posted. Another one that I've been sitting on for a while now is a video that I've wanted to make, I don't want to say my entire life, but for a good portion of it, because anyone who knows me, especially now with Monster Hunter Wilds being the way that it is, people see me as Sparkman SP, which is my PlayStation tag. So when people see the name Sparkman SP, they think one of two things. They either think that, oh, you mean like Sparkman from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, or they think, wow, Sparkman SP, as in like SP from the Battle Network series. Is that Mega Man reference? And the second one is correct. And I've always wanted to make a video because I've watched a lot of videos on talking why Mega Man is such a special character, or a lot of videos on why people love the Battle Network franchise, but no one has really put into the exact words why I love Mega Man the way that I do. And this is a video that I wanted to do right because there's just so much there on why I love Mega Man and why he will always be my favorite fictional video game character. Not even just favorite fictional video game character, just my favorite character in fiction. And I don't think that's ever going to change because there's just so much there. So that's something that I really need to just take my time with. And that's why I didn't put it too close to the beginning, but I put it just far enough to give me time to really tighten that script to make sure that I say everything. Because if I'm talking to someone in a very casual conversation, or I'm talking to people about the concept of the video and things that I want to talk about, the response is always, bro, you need to make that video. That's a really good video idea. So I know that if I do it right, that's gonna be a great video. I just need a little bit of time to iron it out. But this is where I'm gonna lock it in, and I'm gonna just go ahead and commit to it. So in Mega Man May, I'm gonna be telling you guys why I love Mega Man so much. And I think a lot of it really has to do with my dad as well. Because I'll just say this will just be like kind of like the thesis of the video, is that for as long as I can remember, even to this day, my dad still tells me this, that Salos, you can do anything you put your mind to. And if you know anything about Mega Man, that is all he is. He has always changed his environments. He is always changing to the situation, and he always rises and becomes who he needs to be to tackle the situation that's in front of him. So that's going to be like the whole thesis of the video. But man, that's gonna be one that I haven't even restarted that video yet, so I need to like get started now if I'm gonna make it by May. But I have a lot of help behind it. A lot of people who are willing to sit with me and help me through the process. But that's gonna be a video that once it's done, I'm gonna be so glad I made it because I've wanted to do this for a very long time now. And the last one, okay. For my Monster Hunter fans, I'm going to have to just say it. The Elatreon video is being pushed back again. But with everything I have just laid out, I need you guys to understand this, okay? With the whole theme of all the videos I'm going to be posting throughout the month, this video is the Fatalis video. I already said because the Elatreon video, the reason why I hype it up so much is because that was an arc that pushed all of us to our limits and basically to our breaking points. There was so many emotions in that in that whole little arc that it definitely changed us for the better. But man, did it drive us nearly to the point of insanity trying to meet that DPS check. There was so much there that we had to like literally have like a little therapy session after Elatreon. So I think that if I were to just post the Elatreon video as it is, like with all the raw parts, I think you guys will just see us slowly losing our sanity, and it'll be a very fun watch. I mean, seeing us suffer is probably, it was like slapstick comedy at its finest. But when it comes to, and after all of that, because I've been playing this Elatreon video for so long, even before we started fighting Fatalis, I was like, this Elatreon video is gonna take so long to make that for Fatalis, I was just gonna post like the raw parts as is. Like I was gonna post every individual hunt and edit those into little sections. And the Road to Fatalis arc was gonna become its own arc. That each attempt would be its own episode. And I'll just keep posting episodes until we actually got the win on Fatalis. But as the days went on and as the time started to drag, one thing I noticed is that there was a lot of things that was happening behind the scenes. Because like I said, 2025, it was a hard year for all of us. It was a hard year for me. It was a hard year for a bug, and it was kind of hard for DP as well. So there was now this would have been 2024, so not 2025. But there was a lot of things that was going on behind the scenes that was not said in the video itself. And I know that if I just posted those videos raw, there was going to be someone out there who's going to misinterpret that the worst way possible. So when I was reviewing the footage, I was just kind of sitting there and I was like, there's a story to be told here, but I need to make sure that I'm taking the time necessary to properly tell it in a way that's going to tell the full story. So it does go back to the whole theme of self-care, and it's a really important lesson that I only think that even it registered for a bug or DP. It might have. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about it yet. Which is also why it's the very last video, because that video, I'm still in the planning process of the Fatalis video, so I really gotta put the pedal to the metal on that one. But I definitely think there's lessons to be learned in all of that. So I do know a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, but I'm going to hold my tongue on that until I talk to them and what they're comfortable on disclosing. But it lines up perfect with everything that's going on here. So I think that's going to be the perfect way to end it. I think that's going to show, and it's going to tie it back to the Monster Hunter as well, onto why things are the way they are right now. So that's definitely a video that I'm looking forward to. I don't really know how it's going to turn out just yet, because while the Elatreon video that would definitely be the smarter thing to do, the smart thing to do would be to post the Elatreon video, because it is so close to being done that it will definitely be posted 1000% by June, even sooner, possibly if I really put my mind to it. But for what I'm going for here, I think Fatalis is just more thematically fitting, and then Electrion will just be the big bad finale because Fatalis, he was hard. He was definitely a hard boss. But for our little squad, Electrion was, for all intents and purposes, the final boss of World for us. So definitely look forward to that. It's still going to be a great video. I just need to figure out how I'm going to do it. So that's definitely how I'm going to be moving going forward to 2026. Like I said, 2025, it was a year where I feel like just because of everything that was going on with my friends, a lot of things that I was going through personally, and just my own personal goals for myself and for how I wanted to move going forward for the next 10 years, that YouTube just wasn't a big priority for me. But I'm ready to come back to it, and I know that keeping it that I know going forward, I want to keep this as a part of my daily routine, and I want to put YouTube a lot more fun forward. I don't want to underplay it like the way I did in 2025, because I personally speaking, I was not very proud of how the channel was managed in 2025, and I want to do a better job of communicating with you guys. I wanted to continue to keep you guys a part of my life, and I want to keep this channel a part of my daily routine. So I think that with this roadmap, this is going to give me a lot of time to basically get back to the basics, get back into the habit of posting and editing and all that good stuff. But just because these 6 videos are planned out, those are not going to be the only 6 videos that are going to be posted. So get that around right now. There definitely going to be some videos in there. Like there's some smaller ones that I wanted to make. Like one that I stumbled across was a Thanatos hate video. It's this little ethereal in ZZZ. It's an enemy called Thanatos, and all it does is teleport out, teleport in, slice, teleport away, teleports behind you, slice. You know the personal kid is. It is such an annoying ethereal. I made an entire hate video, like an entire diss track for that one ethereal. So there are definitely going to be some smaller videos in there as well throughout these, but these are going to be like the big 6 videos where most of my time are going to be posted. So at the bare minimum, there is 1 video coming each month, and I just laid out what each one of those videos are going to be. And just out of curiosity, how much time have I wasted here so far? Oh, this is already longer than the last one. Okay, yeah, the last time I tried this was 32 minutes, and now this one is 45 minutes. So I am definitely going to end this right here. But all in all, I want to say that being that hopefully this is coming on my birthday, January 12th, that despite everything that happened last year, I wouldn't have done anything differently, because I feel like that the lessons that I learned last year are invaluable, and that there are so many things that I just feel more complete this year. Even going into the new year, I didn't really feel that great, but just being around the people that I care about, being more connected to my religions and being more connected spiritually, I haven't felt this complete in a very long time. So despite all the hardships, despite everything that I went through, that diamonds are forged through fire, and I came out a stronger person. Like I said, I know that there will be times ahead where I get knocked down. Shoot, there might be times where I get knocked down even harder than I was last year. But one thing about me is I always get back up. And when I got back up this time, I've never felt better. So I'm very much thankful for everything that happened last year. And I wouldn't do anything differently. And I want to share that journey with all of you guys. And hopefully these next 6 videos will perfectly encapsulate everything that happened to me within 2025. And I am praying that it'll help one of you guys, for either someone you know or for my friends that are currently going through things, that I just hope that what I went through will help someone out there.